Most people think they understand something until they try to explain it. That is the moment the illusion breaks. Because if an idea makes sense in your head but falls apart when you say it out loud, you probably never understood it as well as you thought. And that is exactly why teaching is one of the most powerful ways to learn. Here is one of the most uncomfortable truths about learning. Understanding is easy to fake. A sentence feels familiar, a concept sounds logical, a page looks clear, and the brain quietly says, "Yeah, I know this." But very often, that feeling is not knowledge, it is recognition. And recognition can be dangerously convincing because seeing something and understanding something are not the same things. This is why so many people study for hours and still cannot explain what they just learned. The words went in, but the structure never formed. And this is where teaching changes everything. The moment you try to teach an idea, your brain loses all its hiding places. Now it has to do real work. It has to arrange the ideas in order. It has to separate what matters from what does not. It has to turn vague thoughts into clear language. It has to move from "I kind of get it" to "I can make this make sense." That shift is huge because the moment you try to explain something simply, you discover the truth. You discover where you are bluffing, where the logic is weak, where one missing step destroys the whole explanation. And that is not failure. That is the most useful feedback learning can give you. Most people think learning happens when they take in more information, but often the real breakthrough happens when they are forced to express what they already took in. That is why teaching is such a powerful learning amplifier. It does not just help you remember, it forces you to organize, to simplify, to confront your gaps. And once you do that, your understanding becomes stronger, cleaner, and harder to forget. And here is what makes this so powerful. You do not need to be a teacher. You don't need a classroom or students or permission. You can explain an idea to a friend. You can record yourself talking to your phone. You can speak to an imaginary beginner. You can even sit alone and say, "Let me explain this from the beginning." That one exercise can reveal more than another hour of passive studying. That is why the best learners often look different from everyone else. They do not just consume ideas, they push knowledge until it becomes clear enough to carry. And when that happens, something important changes. The idea is no longer sitting loosely in the memory. It begins to become part of how they think. That is the real goal. Not to repeat information or to sound informed or to feel familiar with a topic, but to understand it so clearly that it can leave your mind, pass through your words, and still remain true. So the next time you want to learn something deeply, do not just keep rereading it. Pause, close everything, and try to teach it. Teach it until the weak parts show themselves. Because the moment you can explain something clearly, you stop borrowing knowledge and start owning it. This is Kaizen Smarter, where you explain it to really learn it. Like, comment, share, and subscribe to the channel Kaizen Smarter.